I know, I was actually thinking I need to buy it. Oh, it's okay. Okay. Hang on, or else it's gonna have to like not happen for you. Like something like that goes down to here. That's a good idea. Like I'm like showing.
I used to work for Sam Freeper. I worked for Sam Freeper. It's great.
Yeah, a little like sassy. Shade of the chairs.
Yeah, well, part of it's about being the shade too. I know I'm gonna hug everybody.
Oh, that was, you know, I thought about that after I was driving.
You guys, I'm gonna hug out for a few melodies. So
I said I thought about bringing an umbrella because I wasn't sure. But here, let's take a chair. You go. Well, yeah. Our big what row? Okay, so go to the third row. So, I mean, I don't know how many yet.
let's go this way.
Okay, well, that's why I was trying to get her to move. Okay.
So let's go over so that other people could see.
Yeah, actually, Barbie, maybe stay, go to this one and let her be here, so we don't have to scoot too much over. And then Leland can sit here. So you sit here, Mommy.
He won't sit here because because it's weak to sit there.
Okay. Okay, so mommy, you sit here.
Hi. You look great.
Oh, yeah, wonderful.
Oh, nice to see you. Yes.
I'm sorry it's here,
I
however.
know. I know. How are you?
I'm well.
Almost a year to the day. No.
Is it? I
Yeah.
was trying to, I thought about it.
No, the night we had
Very good. But sometimes he wants me to know. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
So you guys are.
Oh gosh, and yours too. Where is she? Oh, okay. We put him on the best seat. Is he a nice guy?
He's a nice guy. Just written
It is.
Yeah. So ours are. Weren't we just 34? Yeah. Right? I mean, I don't know these 30s things, like with kids in their 30s.
And the rabbis regularly congregation was sort of meditating. You'll see her. She's sitting on the bed.
Oh, okay.
She's definitely there. Someone else is
Yeah. So Jake and Alex got married a year ago. Jake and Alex, did you hear that? Okay, so
We've moved up here. We're nowhere near connection to anything.
how long? It hasn't been
Well, you're out of contact.
Yeah. Called Rehab Ranch.
Yeah, and you have the whole. Like how far north?
Route 7.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice. Yeah, so Jake went to law school to be a lawyer, and he met his now wife Alex was either I think 1 year behind him in law school, and they met like at orientation, with her orientation, because he was SBA. No, he was student bar association president. So he was like running things, and they met. They broke up, and well, wasn't he was like, I want to. He broke up with her. You didn't talk to me. And then I said, I feel like I wanted to something. So they went all together. And he said, when we first met, you said, and it stuck in my mind, and so I didn't want us to get farther along, and so and she said, honestly, Jake, I certainly could have said that. I don't remember saying that, but honestly, I think we're in a relationship. So long story short, she was really hard to carry out. 2 weeks before their wedding, Shayna was living in Brooklyn with her now fiance, Fletcher's from Denver, Fletcher's backstage. They all went to DSA together. No, Fletcher's not Jewish. Well, he will be in the process. And so they were living in Brooklyn, and literally they were like days away from just flying here for a couple of years for the wedding, and they're singing out in their bedroom onto the bed, like luckily they were watching a movie, not in bed. I mean, there was like shrapnel on the bed, and the landlord was like freaking out. Yeah. Sam. So, should we sit? You want to sit in behind? This is Judy's purse. Over here. Sit right here. Oh, you can move back in.
Hi, everyone. Real briefly, the family's running a little bit late. They're in limousines that got stuck behind a car accident. So they're on their way, just driving in Denver, right? But we'll begin as soon as they get here.
Linda tried.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Wednesday, you're committed Did Steve come in because he was writing a lot about this? Yes. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So I nearly called him, but we got here. We're not gonna go there.
I'm not either. I have to take Dad to the doctor. He's got some. And Mark is driving me because I have a Monero system going outside. Linda and Alan drove me here. Yeah, Mark and Sam, how are you doing? Have you improved at all? Or you're still- Yeah, yeah. They're all good. Oh my gosh, I wish I were better. Good. Yeah, well, obviously something, yeah, so I'm glad he's getting a picture just to see. If it's normal, then, you know, I don't know what he'll say, but at least you'll know. I'd rather it be normal. I said I'd rather it be normal. Yeah, really. So you just join this.
This is my son.
You're gonna do it? Okay. What do you think about that? I might be telling you. Well, I put my seat there. I was gonna. I thought.
I sleep the first time I've seen Gerard. Years ago, Gerard, the two babies, he's maybe knew everybody.
More likely. He was a wonderful woman. So sweet.
Somebody. And
Yeah.
I don't know if I told you.
Yeah. Oh, some more. Yeah, right.
She would see me. We're Sam. Yeah. And then, oh, and she's always,
She's got back. Yeah, you know, Fancy does that too. But you know, it's so funny. It's not very funny. But when she was younger, she sold me Juice Plus, you know, to try to make us both healthy. We both weren't healthy, you know. She ended up getting this and this.
I'm Herb.
Doesn't always work.
Hi, Sam. This is Bro.
Hello. The Juice Plus doesn't work. It was a good idea.
good idea.
This one's my favorite. She was part of our dinner group. Okay, I'm saying that we've had for 30 years.
That's the only seat
Well,
available. No, there's a whole, okay,
Yeah.
we can go around that way.
Yeah.
I was saving this for Linda.
Nice to
Not
see
parking each other.
I'm Paula Gutter.
Oh, my goodness. Nice to see you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right. Alan? Yeah, Alan, are you gonna sit if I say two seats for you? No seat? Okay.
Then maybe we should, well, I don't know.
Okay. Are you saving?
No.
Are you guys gonna sit here? Huh? Okay, no, you.
I wanted to talk to you, but you were looking at.
Yeah.
So we named it.
And the relatives and the B'nai Havarah
I didn't know if I was supposed to answer.
Yeah.
Or you.
Used to be a junior group of about 17, 18 people. Down to 4.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And Audrey's just going to Landmark.
Today's my birthday.
Should we say
Me and Trump.
they decided Linda and Ellen are gonna stand? Yeah, so well, I just analyzed that I used to stand. And I'm beyond that. I'm beyond that too.
I'll be there one day.
Yeah. So it's your husband joining? Should we say goodbye?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Be a strong
Sure.
Just a whole body. Yeah. Right.
If we ever can find the time when there's not a funeral and not a this. And I've got some stuff for you. I just got stuff.
Oh, that's great.
So if you want to come with her.
We'll coordinate and see
Just
what
like
fun was.
always. No
Hard with
idea
kids,
that
but we'll try and, I would love to.
Where are the kids you left when
They're in school.
in school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I live in summer camp and Mark's in their daycare.
Are you?
So we're not gonna go get Shiva.
Right.
Right.
But again, it's a time I have to go pick her up from the summer camp. But when at least
Yeah. I'm gonna get up and say hi to her. I am gonna get up and say hi to her.
Sam, Pamela. Gloria.
So now,
Why did I bring it? They get married really young. The kids good? Everybody's good. Carol is not here. She's in North Carolina. And for Jody, Mary, it's been married 3 years. Mike Frieda. Doug. That's Doug. And Doug is a single parent.
I just thought
Tegan was shopping. I know.
You look familiar.
That's the good That's Doug Heller's kid. Thank you for bringing us back. So his friend's family.
That's
Six brothers. Was there a next one?
I did live in Denver for 2 years.
Okay, yeah. You should say that. When they had me, I see. Joni, and Tegan and I went to Lisa's and then went to shop. Went to my training. You finished?
I haven't.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Other ones, you have Yeah, but so
So I said, now it's
I've had some surgery from it. This is a member because Gitty was Gloria was became attached to milk pockets. It was very, very long.
I'm not going to.
And she became part of our brother.
No, it's just regular.
Like I said, it was
And
only
I
4
went, we've been here for 55 years, so that's how long actually it's been. And I went back. And then when I got there,
all kinds of good Joe.
I had always and so in the morning, so they gave it back to me, and then I got present, and I just, I left somebody got it and tried doing that.
That was a long-term
We're not getting right where to get lunch. So when you and I went all the way with it. I wanted to be
area that was used to be called the territory of Florida.
It's so nice. It's much
Hello, everyone. We're going to be starting soon, but I'd love it if we could make sure that the first 2 rows are available for the family who will be coming.
Unfortunately not. Still some of these.
Yeah, it looks like we actually need more seats for the family.
Will.
Here, I'll go back here. Someone sitting here. Oh, you're sitting there. That's all right. You have the right.
Yeah, I think we do. Okay.
Those are taken on.
I'm her. I'm her. No, it's very
About right here.
That's the name is Pet.
Yeah, family are basically the first rows, and there's about 16 family members. Yes.
Do we have to?
We will have to see.
About 16 or 17.
Okay. Then you need to sit.
stop. Nothing we do. Passed away. They just kind of
And now we have lunches.
Yeah, we did that.
That's a problem. You have to keep it clean and get out of the house.
Oh my God.
Yes. I keep texting you.
A family.
They're bringing more chairs.
Well, you have to go.
I want to make room for you. Sit here. And where you go. I'm gonna go stand here. I think they're putting more chairs. All right, so go back to where we have. Oh. And they're putting more chairs. Now focus. They're putting more chairs over here. That's my daughter. The family is supposed to sit here. What? No, go over here. There's some chairs.
How was your traffic coming out today? Horrendous.
Okay, they were all waiting for chairs there. There's more chairs coming.
Oh, good.
We came from South End.
They're bringing chairs.
We tried to use 225 on the 2000. It took us like 40 minutes.
Right.
Oh, I thought you said you were saving.
No, I said, you know, Judy.
Well, easy for you to remember my name, isn't it?
I actually have,
Where?
I collect fish pins.
Right now.
Fish pins, put them in my map.
You know it
And I have a push pin with Northern Florida
senior living.
So that's how-
So that's like chairs.
Yeah. Well,
You know, you live close to my favorite restaurant, which is Burger King. I swear.
she has what we call inexpensive
I
days.
told you, I always say Stuart married me because I was a cheap date. He says not so cheap.
Yeah, right. Didn't end up so cheap.
What is going on there? We're not gonna go to the ship. I was gonna ask you
I
guys
am.
to show us the place. So we'd love you guys to send.
There's absolutely nothing to see.
Yeah.
All there is electrical wires hanging out, plumbing fixtures, not even the fixtures, the plumbing, whatever
There's
they
only
do,
11
the
there.
pipes and stuff. There's absolutely nothing. I don't know if it's happened.
We took a river
I don't
paddle
know,
wheeler
you guys
down
be here till
from
7.
Memphis to New
I
Orleans.
said,
And so we
way
learned
back
an
when I
awful
said,
lot about. Yeah, that's when we learned.
I'd like to have a 4th of July party because you can see everything across
But
the
I don't
city.
think people
We're moving.
know that
And,
there was a
we're moving.
But
We're
there was an
moving
independent
to the landmark.
state.
We're gonna move south. So you can see the fireworks. Well, all there is a mess.
Not well known.
Nothing's gonna be redone.
Actually, when we
You,
did geography, we never studied.
You've been in your house
Heard
all
about
this
Panhandle
time.
of Florida.
We
But it was
went
considered.
in. Remember when we were on Linden Way? I don't know, Pontiac.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we moved to Red Court and we were there about 20.
What court?
Red Court, Red Court, which is on the west side of Wilshire Golf Course. We were there for 20 years. Then we moved to Hyde Park, which is off of Alameda and Steel. I moved there for 20.
You're having a
You allowed me to play
twice.
twice.
I know.
Unfortunately, I'm not saying 20. Well, there you go. Yeah.
I'm not a fantastic fan of AJ's.
And that's just, you get a really nice place and then I do that.
Well, I'm in my house. My house. 60. Wow. Wow. And that's amazing because I'm only 62.
That's
So
I'm only 29.
I'll go with that.
Will you go with that one?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you the 60s. 60s were good years. 80 is a bad number. I was. No, she's not.
It's just way they use the words. I said, 79. I really got 79.
Yeah, you did. But 80 is a 70. 70 is not such a great number.
No, I know that 72, you're still cool. You know, but by 79.
60s. The 60s should be really great. The problem is, nobody tells you what it's like to age. I said, I'm so mad at my mother for not letting her get involved. She never told me.
All the time in my life. I didn't like it, but I do.
My mother
This is getting all this terrible. Just you have an old man to take care of.
mother told me,
Oh, we don't like it. Is your mother? You're not here. You laugh at it.
no,
Her mother did, and her father passed away. Sam and I would get to buy something. Your mother says.
I understand.
Well,
was born in Congress. She came here when she was 7 years old. So I always say those immigrants came here very strong because what they had to, they died through their ordeal. Yeah, in Europe was terrible. So it made them strong. And in comparison, yeah, no, we fortunately we don't have to be strong. I'm lucky to be born here. What? He said, we're so lucky to be born here. Oh, sure.
And I said, yes.
Under a funeral.
Yes. And I, well, I got a great doctor.
Yeah.
She's like, I can't even handle myself.
I can't even handle myself. I couldn't even.
I thought so. What time is it?
Now it's almost
23.
Well, this
Well,
is
you know what,
push
Kitty
10
was
o'clock.
always late. It's appropriate.
It's
I'm glad you said that, because
push 10.
that's exactly what was usually
usually it's usually 10 after. It's not. They got caught. There was a car accident someplace in Denver. They got the whole family in limos. Got caught.
Well, you know,
Is that
Stuck in
now?
it.
You mean now?
I've seen
Today
ghosts
is
of
one that's
family members.
where was the accident?
in Denver.
Ghosts of family members. Like when my
Lonnie knows.
when my nephew, our
We
niece
came
and
to the
her
city.
husband got married, I
When he
swear
came,
that my brother
we got
did
an
it.
I-70 and
We're standing.
so I turned on my phone and it says exit 270.
I'm not the only
And
person.
I go, and then Sam,
And it's all fast.
Sam's, you know,
You saw
like,
my brother.
Yeah, that's so good. Well, if you want to get up from these seats,
We all saw him standing.
well, I'm just gonna go sit on the floor. On the
oh, by
grass.
the way, you see where, no,
Right
no,
now.
absolutely not.
They said there's six,
That's
that's my family.
That's her
Well,
Right.
there's six, maybe don't add more
Well,
chairs.
yeah, then
You was it? Suddenly, another doctor.
the 16 family members, some of them are.
Audrey says that.
So maybe they can still sit on some of the platform, or maybe they're not covered, but they can still sit on some of the
Exactly.
I
Somebody
didn't say that.
appealed.
I just said that you're the one.
You're gonna fix them up.
And we were the days, and I was an accident. They got tied
So there you go.
So yeah, they actually wanted, they were in the, Sam said she remembered that the family was in that.
So Gloria was only.
Yeah, there was a family had an auto accident.
Yeah.
Nobody got hurt, but
Fairly
it
young.
stopped the traffic. It stopped
Who had an auto, family
the family car
had an auto accident
coming out here.
just now? Did somebody run into them?
We don't know anything more about it than that. We weren't there.
Nobody got hurt. How did she hear this?
Audrey told me, and somebody said it's Audrey.
Did anyone get hurt?
With the limousine? Yeah, the limousine and probably the other car.
We have the same thing, the west side of what's
I had
left.
a Meniere's attack on Wednesday.
There were two very lucky children.
Really bad, so bad that I could hardly walk.
Which is,
It was so
which
bad.
is.
Well, I got to that finally. I was
A little bit south of
what happened.
town.
I couldn't walk.
Right.
And I stared at the cabin. I didn't crawl. I sat on the stairs and scooted in.
Yeah, so she's.
But I still am having to do
Mark, Linda and I were
And this afternoon.
I didn't have Mark come. He didn't
Events, various events.
She's probably gonna have this afternoon.
Mark.
Mark's busy with me.
Yes, because I want to go with Dad to the doctor, but I really can't handle it.
And
So Mark said,
you might mention it to Donna, because she's got.
I'm not gonna mention it. He's not my doctor. This is about Dad. Is this a neurologist? That Dad is seeing? No, he's seeing citrus. That's his primary.
I know from I understand. I know.
Well, he was only there for a whole month. If it's something, Oh, but I mean, it would have been so great, and it was something that was taking, it was gonna be, it wasn't like he was in any danger. I didn't use the lottery, but I will try to remember that.
Weird things.
Nope.
Why don't you sit there? It's the family's gonna sit there. It's okay. I can stand. No problem. No problem. Except for the sister. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, if we can remind everyone to please turn off your cell phones.
According to Lori and Scott, Gloria's children, Gloria loved the mountains. And, this is Psalm 121. I lift my eyes up to the mountains. where does my help come from? To source, you know, all of us, all that is.
You're not on.
It is on. I'll just go like that next
Oh, I
time.
see.
Splitting it. The season is set for everything, a time for every experience under heaven, a time for planting and a time for reaping, a time for keeping and a time for discarding, a time for loving and a time for hating, a time for embracing and a time for refraining, a time for slaying and a time for healing, a time for laughing and a time for weeping, a time for dancing and a time for wailing, a time for birthing and a time for dying, a time for speaking and a time for silence, a time for seeking and a time for losing. These words come to us from Ecclesiastes, the book of Kohelet. So we're here today to remember Gloria Weiss. And she was a woman whose capacity for love and delight in others made her a joy to be around. She was daughter, mother, sister, aunt, friend, neighbor, and more to this circle and to wider circles beyond. And in those relationships, she always managed to make each of us feel that we were the lucky ones to have a special connection to her. Lori and Alan and Scott, Bobby Sue, Ron, Connie, Cynthia, Andrea, Janine, Ellie, Shelley, Derek, Caitlin, Sophie, Chandler, all of you are just a small part of a wider family system of love. And Gloria's love for you was the center of her life. She was proud of you, and she found her life's purpose in her love for you. Lori, in these final weeks, you have been so devoted and present. And I know that it's been hard to say goodbye more quickly than you had imagined. Gloria Weiss was a sparkling soul, full of gratitude, bubbling over with stories and generosity, maintaining relationships with friends and family over decades. Truly, she was a blessing to all who knew her. And her example of how to love in word and in deed is an inspiration. Gloria Helene Weiss grew up on the west side of Denver, daughter of Elizabeth and Alan Heller. She doted on her big brother Arnie, and they remained close throughout their lives as their families grew and intertwined. Her relationship with her nieces, Cynthia, Andrea, and Janine, and their families was a great source of love and joy and support. Gloria eventually married Philip Weiss, and they had 2 kids together, Lori and Scott, who remember her basically raising them by herself. And despite the challenges, and I'm sure there were many, she rarely complained. Even when her work meant she couldn't go to every game or school event, and she worked hard at Montgomery Wards and in advertising, selling products with customized logos and images. Even in the more difficult chapters, she always provided for the kids and kept her attitude of gratitude. As time passed, Gloria was blessed with grandchildren and great-grandchildren, Brittany, Derek, and Shelley, Chandler, and Hannah, Benjamin, and Emerson. She was a proud and loving grandmother and great-grandmother, taking great joy in the celebrations of life, b'nai mitzvah over the years. In her last decades, Gloria was blessed to fall head over heels in love with Mel Coffey, and her family expanded once again as she embraced Bobby, Sue, and Dan, Ron, and Connie, Ellie, Anna, Zach, and Jackie. Gloria loved to tell the story of her love with Mel. I heard it many times. How they had spent years growing a friendship in the same extended family by marriage, and then how when his first wife died, she was really there for him. She was there for both of them at the end, and then for him after that loss. And after a respectable amount of time, he eventually reached out to express his appreciation for her kind support, and things went from there. I remember a story she was telling me about their first date and how they were in a crowded restaurant and he couldn't hear a word, but he was politely nodding. And then at the end, he basically said to her, "I really am enjoying your company. I want to hear everything you said. I heard about a tiny percentage of it. Let's go to my apartment so you can tell me." But it was all very respectful. And he really had to pursue her at first. Her family, however, reports to me that eventually they were like 16-year-olds dancing in the hallway when they first got together. Mel and Gloria had their adventures traveling to Italy and elsewhere, but they also had their day-to-day time together, exercising in the closet, is what I've heard. And listen, oh yeah, okay, we can clarify that. Maybe at the shiver we can hear what that exactly means. They listened to books on tape together. They participated together in synagogue life. And I was able to see Gloria's devotion to Mel over their final days together. And in this past year, she missed him tremendously. It is no arbitrary coincidence that she passed nearly a year to the day after Mel died. Judaism was always important to Gloria. From her childhood in the Jewish part of town to the various communities she was a part of. In her home, she anchored her family life around Friday night Shabbat candles and blessings every week. And the extended family shared Jewish holidays, meals, and songs together over decades. At B'nai Havarah, the synagogue where I serve as rabbi, Gloria had yet another kind of extended family circle in her Havarah, a group of several families who shared Jewish life and learning and offer support. Years ago, she went with Gloria and Scott to Israel to visit her mother and stepfather who were there. In all these ways, being Jewish was a central part of Gloria's life. And Gloria, being Gloria, she had a lot of interests and loves: travel, tennis, dance, being a football fan, white puffy clouds and big blue skies, trips to the mountains, baking delicious pumpkin bread. She had adventures of all kinds, including a 60th birthday trip to Zimbabwe with Gloria and Alan, Brittany, Derek, and Shelley, a gift from Gloria's brother Arnie and his wife Sandra. She was genuinely curious about people, about the world, reveling in the beauty of life, always learning. But even with all of these adventures and interests, Gloria's heart was filled most of all by connecting with friends and family. I met Gloria when I was still in my first year as the new rabbi at B'nai Havurah. She and Mel hosted a brunch for their Havurah to meet me. I remember her bustling around and making sure everyone was comfortable, everyone that is but herself. I really had to insist to arrange a chair for her to sit, and even then she was up and down making sure all her guests were happy. I've gathered since then that this loving attention to friends was one of Gloria's most enduring and endearing qualities. Every time I visited her, she would tell me stories about the latest cards and calls from friends she had known since her childhood in Denver, friends from down the hall, just newly moved in, friends from the synagogue, friends from the many, many chapters of her life. She loved people, and they loved her. And she didn't just love them, she told them how much she cared, and she made effort to stay connected. She was the kind of friend who would bring the soup or send the card in the hour of need. And in her final chapters, her friends did the same for her because we all loved her so much. Every time I would see Gloria, she was always very put together, always gracious and generous, always caring. And in every conversation, she would say many times, "I'm so blessed. I have been so blessed." Even when she was telling me about a cancer diagnosis or a nightmare with bad care for her toe, even when she was road tripping with broken ribs, she found the blessings and named them and let them lift her spirit in good times and in hard times. Gloria passed away right before the holiday of Shavuot on the Jewish calendar, the holiday celebrating the giving of Torah, revelation, a very holy time to leave the earthly plane. It is taught that at Sinai, when the Torah came into the world, every Jewish soul, past, present, and future, was there. And each soul received a slightly different version of revelation according to his or her capacity. So each of us has our own unique piece of revelation, our own unique Torah to offer and to understand. I only got to know Gloria for less than 2 years, but in that time, I think I got a sense of what her Torah might be. Hers was a Torah of love, a Torah of gratitude, a Torah of joyful connection and true friendship. As we remember her today and into the future, I hope that we can all take a little of this kind of Torah forward into the world, whether it means taking extra time to pick up the phone or send a card or bring over that pot of soup, or whether it means just expressing how much we love and appreciate the people that we treasure in our lives. We may all miss Gloria's sparkling smile and the way she made us feel, but her Torah of love and gratitude need not end with her. I think it would make her more grateful than ever to know that she taught us all a little more about how to love. So now I'm going to offer for us a psalm that is a traditional part of funeral services, Psalm 23. For now, I'll just offer it in English. Later on, we may sing a melody that's often used to accompany this song. And if you know the words, you're welcome to join me. Psalm 23, a Psalm of David. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He guides me in the straight paths for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou hast anointed my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of Adonai forever. And now I'd like to invite you to stand if you're able to, and we're going to be lowering Gloria's coffin into the earth, saying a few prayers. Please remain standing as we turn to the words of the prayer El Malay Rachamim. El Malay.
Oh, cover it first. Oh, I thought you were. Okay, got it.
All right, thank you. Well, first we're going to bury Gloria, and then we'll sing those prayers. Apologies for that. So let me explain a little bit about the burial ritual. So it's understood in Jewish tradition that helping a loved one lay to rest in the earth is one of the final acts of kindness we can offer to another person. And so it's a sacred act to actually participate in laying Gloria to rest by helping to gently lay earth on her grave. And even though it's a mitzvah, it's a sacred deed, we don't do this eagerly. We don't rush to do it. So there's a few ways in which we slow ourselves down. I will demonstrate that in just a moment, but while I have the amplification, I'll explain it first. So as you'll see, what I'll do is when I go to take a shovel, I will turn it upside down for the first shovelful of earth. And then subsequently, I'll take a few more shovelfuls of earth as I go. As you'll see here, there's several shovels. So once we get started, we don't have to wait for one another. Whoever can come and do this at the same time, that's just fine. And one more element that I'll explain, and then I'll show you physically how to do this, is that a year ago when we buried Mel, my colleague from HEA, a conservative synagogue, began to sing as we were laying him to rest. And it was a very beautiful, moving ritual that I had never witnessed. And the family has asked that we do sing Gloria into the earth in the same way today. And as I've mentioned to the close family as we began, this is not meant to be some kind of distraction from facing the reality of this moment. It's just meant to be a loving gesture as we lay her to rest. So let me show you how it's done with the shovel, and then when you have completed your turn, you can just try to put the shovel back into the pile of earth. If that's preferable. If that becomes difficult, you can hand it gently to the next person. So you can step forward and everyone is invited to participate. Anyone else who would like to come forward? You can do so now. Okay. So if you have the strength, it's customary to stand for El Male Rachamim, and if it's been too much, you can take care of yourself. Let's take a breath together here. El Male Rachamim Shochen Bameromim Amse Menucha Nechona Tachat Kanfei HaShechina Bemalot Kedoshim Uteorim Kezohar Harakia Masirim את נשמת חיה גיטל בת אברהם פנחס ועליזה שהלכה לעולמה בגן עדן תהא מנוחתה ענה בעל הרחמים אז תראה בסתק כנפיך לעולמים וצרור בצרור החיים את נשמתה, אדוני הוא הנחלתה, ותנוח בשלום על משכבה, ונאמר אמן. Exalted, compassionate one, grant infinite rest in your sheltering presence among the holy and the pure to the soul of Gloria Weiss, Chaya Gittel Bat Abraham Pinchas Beliza, who has gone to her eternal home. Merciful one, we ask that our loved one find perfect peace in your eternal embrace. May her soul be bound up in the bond of life. May she rest in peace, and we say, Amen. Now you may be seated. I'd like to call forward Janine to offer another song.
Gloria, it is fitting that today is such a beautiful day with all the birdies tweeting with us all here. And this is a song about all the things that you loved and life-affirming things for all your family to have strength and love and support each other and lift you up every time we notice these beautiful things that you love so much. Walk through the old trees, see shadows, shades of green. These gifts are shining through the misty morn. A breath of honey smells and colored blossoms swell These gifts are shine through the misty morn. Stretch my arms to the sky. Turn once round with a prayerful sigh. Come flying close to me, Sophie, sweet songbird, feathered wings. These gifts are shine through the misty morn. Feel the strength in my legs, feel the peace deep in my bones. Standing tall, tall and strong. Yes, it's clear when not alone. I belong. This is my fun life. I belong. I belong. Wanna sing it to the sky. I belong. This is my I belong. I belong. All these gifts are shining. So many friends to greet, 1,200 kinds of feet. These gifts are shining through the misty morn. Feel the strength in my legs, feel the peace deep in my bones. Standing tall, tall and strong. Yes, it's clear when I'm alone. I belong. This is my fun. Through the misty morn. So we're coming to the conclusion of our gathering for this time, and if the Feldman folks would pass out Kaddish cards if you haven't done so. So in just a moment, we will be saying the words of Kaddish. These words have accompanied our people in moments of loss for generations and generations, and that itself is some comfort. It's also a powerful thing that this is the prayer that we say in the presence of community only. This is a prayer that mourners are obligated to speak, and yet, according to tradition, only allowed to do so when we have a minyan, when we have 10 or more souls gathered to offer support. And part of what I think is going on with that paradox is that our ancestors left us a kind of insurance policy that we would not be alone in times of loss. So, of course, we're saying Kaddish for Gloria. We also may have others here who are saying Kaddish for other souls. So if you are saying Kaddish as a primary mourner for Gloria or for anyone else, I invite you to rise at this time. And
our custom in the B'nai Havurah community is to invite everybody to stand midway through the prayer where we have a communal response line. So I'll indicate where that is, and if you're able to and would like to, you can join us in standing at that time. So please rise now if you are saying Kaddish. Yitgadal, Yitkadash, Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma, Divra, Hute, Yamlich, Malchute, B'chayechon, Uvyomechon, Ubchaye, Dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala, Ubizman, Karif, Yimru, Amen. Yehe Shmei Rabbah, Mevorach, Be'olam, Olamei, Omaya. Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitramam, V'yitnaseh, Yitadar, Vitale, Vitalal, Shemei Kucha, Beriku. Le'ela, Minkol, Birchata, Vashirata, Tushbachata, Benechamata, Da'amiran Belma, Yimru, Amen. Yehe Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu, V'yalkul Yisrael, Yimru, Amen. Osei Shalom B'mrama, Osei Shalom. Ya'kul Yisrael, Ya'kul Yoshvei Tevel, V'imru Amen. All right, you may be seated. Just a couple of words about what's ahead of us. So first of all, just thank you to all of you who came to this gathering and who plan to be there for the family, not just today, but into the months ahead. You know, one of the things that I always hope for is that a family, when they go through loss, will not just feel that support in this immediate moment, but ongoingly. So I encourage you to just keep reaching out, just as Gloria would have done 2 months down the road, 3 months, 4 months down the road, to just check in, because for those close ones, life doesn't go back to normal as quickly as for everyone else. And it's a kindness to just continue to be sensitive about that for some time. So I want to also say thank you to all of those of you, some of whom I know, some not, who are just working to support our gatherings today, bringing food, or arranging all kinds of details. Thank you. So the family will be receiving visitors at 7600 Landmark Way this afternoon between 2 and 3. And then at 3 o'clock, we'll gather again for a gathering where we'll share memories and say some prayers for Shiva. So again, that's 3 o'clock at 7600 Landmark Way. And for the rest of our gathering here, we'll have one more song that all are welcome to sing if they know it, Eli, Eli. And then what I'd like to do, and I'll explain now, but you have to remember it all the way till the end of the song, is it's customary for the end of a funeral service to form 2 lines, kind of an embrace. And so those of us who are not close family will make 2 lines sort of leading out, and the family will have a chance to exit at their own pace through those 2 rows of loving embrace. So that's what we're going to do. And at that time, it's customary to say, Hamakom Yenachem Etchem. May the source comfort you. So I'd like to call Janine back one more time to lead us in the Eli, Eli, and then we'll form those lines as we leave this gathering.
We'll do the Hebrew and the English, and the English is Eli, Eli, I pray that these things never end. The sand, the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the heavens, the prayers of all. These are all things in concert with Aunt Gloria. We can always love and appreciate with her and connect with her. Eli, Eli, Shalom Yigamer Leolam, Achol V'Hayam, Rishush Shel Hamay, Baruch HaShamayim, Tzilat HaAdam, Achol V'Hayam,
rich roots shall align. Berashamai Tilakadu. Oh Lord, my God, I pray that these things never end. The sound of the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the praise of all, the sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the praise of the
Thank you, everybody. So those who are not close family, let's make two loving lines of embrace.
Did I get it for you?
Even if
Yeah.
So everyone kind of come past the flowers. The best line is
Well, we're going out for dinner tonight. What would you people eat for dinner?
So,
We're going Chinese.
but, and depending on your minhag, some people do wait until the full grave is full, but that's something that is, rare in my experience, but they're happy to. The best thing would be to go to those lines and then come back.
So yeah, sorry, it looks like you all might have to kind of stumble through the chairs and start right here. I'd like to. Okay, I'll send it. Okay. Yeah.
And once the family has passed, you're welcome to follow them.
Thank you all for your virtual attendance.